Hello everyone, welcome to Well Explained. Today we will talk about the chapter India Size and Location, Class 9 Social Studies. So children, if you like this channel and if you like the classes, then you can subscribe the channel and also share it so that many people can study online during this coronavirus pandemic. Because see, knowledge is one thing which increases when you share it. Okay, so you need to share this content as much as possible so everybody gets a chance to read and study the content which is beneficial for them. So let's start. India size and location. This is an introductory chapter which will tell you about the basic geography of India. So this is our India. You can see monuments and all. You can recognize that we are talking about India when you see Taj Mahal or a Qutub Minar or India Gate or Gateway of India. So okay, let's start with the basic data. So the landmass of India, the size is given. Okay, area 3.28 million square meter. You need to have a rough idea. You don't have to cram 3.28, but you must know that it is around 3 million square meter because India is the seventh largest country in the world. So area wise, we have a very big advantage. Okay, so of total land area of the world, India has 2.4%. So in the world, there are more than 190 countries, around 194 to be precise, as per UN, because UN members are recognized as countries. Okay, so of 194 countries, India has 2.4%. So it is a big number. Okay, seventh largest, and the boundary is 15200 kilometer. In my last lecture I talked about the boundaries of India, if you remember. So I told you about the boundaries India has with our neighbors. I told you that with Bangladesh India has the longest border. With Afghanistan it is smallest or shortest. So it has a boundary of this much kilometer. And listen, this also includes Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which is in Bay of Bengal, and Lakshadweep, which is in Arabian Sea. I will make you understand this thing with map also as we come to it. Okay. So see, we have got map. I was talking about it. So here we have got Andaman, and this is Bay of Bengal. Okay. And here we have Lakshadweep. Okay, Arabian Sea. Lakshadweep is named because it is a group of 1 lakh islands. Islands in Hindi is Dweep and Laksh means lakh. So 1 lakh islands approximately. So it is named like that. And Andaman and Nicobar Islands are named because of the tribes which are found there. Andamanis, Nicobaris, and other tribes are also found. So this is I am giving you a rough idea. Okay. So these two main islands are there, and then our neighbors are. I also talked about neighbors in the last class. If you recall, if you do not recall, then you can see it again. It is on the channel. Okay. Pakistan, here it is, our least important neighbor, but we cannot help it. They are our neighbor and we have to cope with them, but they are not advantageous to us in any way. Then Afghanistan, it is our good neighbor. Then China, again, rogue neighbor. We don't have very good uh, political relations with them, boundary relations with them. Economically, our relations are good. Then Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. All these countries we have a good relation with them. Okay. Now, if we see the location, then India is in northern hemisphere. How do you know which hemisphere? See, this zero degree is equator. Equator is a line, or you can say latitude, which divides the earth into two halves. Northern, this is northern, and this is southern. Okay, so and if you don't know latitude and longitude, see, longitude means long means lambai. So you can say longitudes are these lines. Okay, from north to south, and latitudes run from east to west or west to east. Okay, so now you have idea of latitude and longitude. So India is in between 8.5 degree and 37.5 degree north. 8.5, how? Now if you see this map again. Okay, so latitudes are not given here. I will see in another map. If you see here, this is 0 degree, okay, and India ends here. See here. So around this tip, which is Kanyakumari, it is around 8 degree north. Why north? Because I told you above 0 degree is north. So here it is written na 8.5 degree north and then 37.5 degree north. Then India ends north here around Jammu and Kashmir. And what is this? 30. So if you go north a little bit, then here it is 37.5 degree north. Okay, now you know the latitudinal extent because this is between latitude. Now between longitudes, which is these longitudes, okay, so India goes from 68.5 degree east. Okay. So 68 and this is 60. And if we move eastwards like this, so there we have Gujarat as our westernmost part. So that longitude is 67.5. And here we have Arunachal Pradesh. So this is 90, you can see. So if we go east, we will go to 97.5 degree east, which ends at Arunachal. So this is our longitudinal expansion. Now you understood, okay? Now it is written Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two parts. What is Tropic of Cancer? It is 23.5 degree north latitude. How do you know? See, this is 30. If you move south, then number will decrease. So around here from Gujarat, this line goes like this. This is our Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so it divides the country into two parts, north and south, and it is this latitude 23.5 degree north. Okay, now about islands we have already talked. Okay, Arabian Sea, also I told you that Lakshadweep is in Arabian Sea, which is to the west of Indian subcontinent or Indian peninsula. You know na peninsula, landmass surrounded by water from three sides. Okay, now this is also, this gives you a perspective of the world where India is situated. So this dotted line is again equator, 0 degree. Okay, so India is north of equator, and I told you the latitudinal and longitudinal expanse of India. Okay, you remember this 8.5 degree north to 37.5 and 68.5 to 97.5. Okay, now let's move on. Now we will talk about main geography. Now in the north, this you can see green patches. This green. So okay, I will change the color. This green patch is Himalayas. Why green? Because they are mountains and they have vegetation. So they are green in color. If it is brown in color shown, then it means it's a desert, which is not shown in this map, but it is shown by that color only. So it's an indication. So young fold mountains, you know, Himalayas are young fold mountains because they developed recently. In the north, we have Himalayas, and north, northwest and northeast, you know, India's northeast part, the seven sisters. So northeast also we have Himalayas. I told you about Bay of Bengal in eastern part of India, Indian subcontinent, and Arabian Sea to the west, it is written. Okay, and Indian Ocean we have in the south. Indian Ocean is not written here, but here it is written, you see. So this ocean is called Indian Ocean, it goes up till here. Below this, we have Antarctic Ocean or Southern Ocean. It is the fifth ocean. Okay. Just for simplifying studies, it is known as Antarctic or Southern Ocean. Okay. Okay. Now, it is written the tapered shape of Southern India. Tapered means like this peninsular shape. It divides Indian Ocean. See, suppose if this landmass was not there, then what would have happened? All over the place water would have been there and this whole part would have been called Indian Ocean. But now that land has come in between, so the water body is divided into two parts. This is one and this is two. So now this is called Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Okay, Now Indian coastline, we talked about here, 15,000 was what? Boundary, 15,200 kilometer, which includes land boundary also. But here they are talking about coastline. So coastline can be this coastline also, and the coastline of the islands, whether it is Andaman Islands or Lakshadweep Islands. So it is 7,500 kilometers. You need to have a rough idea. You don't need to cram as it is. You can remember 7,500. Okay, not exactly you should know that 7,516.6, that is too much, but you should have a rough idea. Okay, now it is written that India's east and west and north and south stretch, they are saying that from west to east, if we compare or we compare north to south, there is always a time lag of 2 hours. What does this mean? This means that suppose in Arunachal Pradesh, if the local time is 9 a.m., then in Gujarat it will be 7 a.m. How? Because sun rises in the east. You know that Japan is the land of rising sun. So if sun will rise in the east, then place in the east will have morning earlier. So they will run ahead. So this tends to explain us that difference between eastern and western part of India is of 2 hours. Okay. Now next point. Now Indian, see, we take a standard time. Okay, because all over in India the time is same, so we need to match our time with other people so that all have same time. So we have Indian standard time. So for that there is a longitude which passes through Uttar Pradesh. And which place in Uttar Pradesh? It is called Mirzapur. You must have heard Mirzapur in a TV series or net series to be precise. Okay, so Mirzapur is a town or a district in Uttar Pradesh. It is near Allahabad. So through Mirzapur, a longitude passes which is 82 and a half degree. Okay, 82.5 also you can write, or 82.30. This is 30 minutes. Okay, degree, and this is east because there is a line called GMT which is 0 degree, and it passes through London. I will show you in the world map. See, this is Europe. Okay. Now this dotted line is equator. This is latitude, and this 0 degree is longitude, and this is GMT. You must have heard it. And where is England? This I will color it. This small part. This is United Kingdom, and there we have London. So this line passes through London, and it is 0 degree, which means GMT. So we are 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. How? I just told you. If a place is situated to the east of any country, then it will be ahead in time. Suppose in India, if we have 12:30 and this is in the afternoon, if we have 12:30 p.m., then what will be the time in London GMT? Tell me. You can decrease or subtract 5.5 hours, so it will come out to be 7 a.m. या p.m. a.m. because we are going back. Now you understood about the GMT concept. I will tell you how to calculate it in the next class. Okay, now we have read about this, our Indian Standard Time, Mirzapur. So 82.5 degree east. Okay, now, okay, one point was missed. So this point says that while India's longitudinal stretch give rise to a time lag between east and west, which I have explained you, its latitudinal stretch influences the duration of days and nights. Latitudinal means between this and this. So you can say that around equator, around 0 degree, the days and nights are almost equal. You must have heard this. But as we go north, The duration of day decrease depending where the sun is. Where the sun is, in southern hemisphere or in northern hemisphere. I will explain this to you. What happens in winters? Do you know? In winters, sun goes into southern hemisphere. I will show you this diagram map. So in winters or in December, sun is here. How you can feel it? Because in India we feel cold, winter cold. Why? Because sun is far away from us, so we feel cold. Now what will happen? This place will be colder as compared to this place. Why? Because sun is nearer to this place. And now if sun is nearer to this place, the day will be longer here compared to this place. Now you understand what I was telling you. Now in summer sun comes back here. Okay, and now what we have winters in southern hemisphere below this equator. Why? Because sun is far away, but sun is near to us now. So what happens? We have summers, and sun is more nearer to northern India. Okay, and bit farther from southern India. So days are bit longer in few summer months, not whole summer, because sun keeps on moving north and south. It is not like only these two position are of sun. It moves. So this dynamic changes. So, and you know why this happens? This happens because of revolution of earth around sun. This is sun, this is earth. This is revolving around sun. That's why we have 365 days in an year. Okay, this is a totally different concept. I will explain this in your further classes. Okay, so we have read about this longitudinal extent. Okay, we have read about this time lag of 2 hours Gujarat to Arunachal. Then we have read about standard meridian Mirzapur also. I have just taught you. Now here they have shown the standard meridian. See this dotted line. So if you see properly, this is 80 degree, this, and if you see this, this is 84. So what comes around between 80 and 84? 82, and it's a bit towards east. If you see, this square is, this area is less, the cut part. So this is 82.5 degree east. So this is our standard meridian which goes through Mirzapur. Okay, you remember Kalin Bhaiya from Mirzapur, huh? So now you will remember Indian Standard Time is taken from Mirzapur. Okay. Now I told you India is seventh largest country in the world area wise, and when it comes to population, we are second most populous. And in few years we will overtake China. If you see, there is not much difference left. 88 and 44. So only a matter of 4 crore people more, and we will surpass them in the coming time. This is not a good news, but this will happen. Okay, so if you want to remember, you can remember like this: around 130 crore is our population, rough idea, or you can say 134 to be precise. Don't remember 130, 134 should be your answer. 134 crore. Okay, now seventh largest country, I told you about this. Let's move on. Okay, now they are talking about India's location. India's location is central between East and West Asia. I will show you the map. See, this is India. This is, okay, I will change the color so that you can understand easily. Okay, this is West Asia. You remember, you know, Saudi, UAE, Dubai, all these are in West Asia. And here, Indonesia, Malaysia, you must have heard about these countries. So these are in East. So India is central. So that's why India has a very important role to play in trade and other affairs. Okay, and India is a southward extension of Asian continent. I also explained you this also, uh, southward extension, when I told you that if there was no land mass, then there would have been only Indian Ocean. No Bay of Bengal, no Arabian Sea. So what they are trying to say is India is a southward extension. If you see this landmass, it goes in this direction. That's why. Okay. Now, now they are talking about Indian Ocean, which connects the countries of Europe and West Asia, East Asia, provides strategic location. I just told you about the importance of Indian Ocean and India's location in trade. Why important? Because if you see, these are the ways through which trade passes. Ships, ships से ही trade होता है सारा. So whatever oil comes from these countries to Africa or Australia or Southeast Asia or China, it goes through Indian Ocean. So India has a very important role to play in Indian Ocean. What kind of role? Security, because there are pirates who take away the petrol or other important valuable items. You must have seen Pirates of Caribbean Sea, and if you haven't seen, you must have heard about it. What they do, they take away the ship, the whole ship. So that's why it is important to provide security in this area. Now Deccan Peninsula, this is known as Deccan Peninsula. It protrudes into the Indian Ocean. That's what I am telling. Protrudes means goes into, and helps India in close contact with West Asia, Africa, Europe from western coastline. This is what I told about. Now this is talking about bit of history like India's contacts with the world through the ages, because in older times we used to have trade with West Asia, Africa. Our spices were very famous, hearing which the Europeans came to India for spice trade, and after that spice trade they made us their colonies. Okay, so this is telling you about old times, ancient times. And then Upanishads, Ramayana, Panchtantra, all they are talking. See, I told you about spice. Then muslin is a cloth. Okay, it's a very soft cloth. You must have heard malmal ka kapda. So muslin is that cloth. So all these were famous all over the world. That's why these countries came here. Okay, now you must be thinking that at that time ships were not that much prevalent. Then how they came to India for trade. I mean, before Britishers came, at that time there were ships, but before that, so you must know that in the Himalayas there are many passes through which trade occurs, through which movement of people occurs. Okay, in India various conquerors also came, like Mughals and other earlier also in ancient India, like Huns and others. You must have heard about Kanishk and all. So these also all came from outside. So they all came from the passes in Himalayas. What is a pass? Suppose all Himalayas are like this, then movement cannot occur. But mountains are not like this. Mountains are like this. This will be a mountain, then this, then somewhere a mountain will be like this. So this is a pass through which road can be constructed, and then people move for trade and cultural contacts. So this is a pass. Okay, now you can remember some of these passes. So your homework is you will have to search for these passes in the internet and then see where they are located, like Shipkila, Zozila, Barala Achla, Bozil. I will tell you Barala Achla is in Himachal Pradesh. Bomdila, Nathula I will tell you is in Sikkim. I have told you about two, rest you will search. Okay. It also, these passes also at times serve as entry points of rivers in India. Okay. Now I told you about trade and commerce, how Indian Ocean is important to India. See, by these dotted lines they have to showed you how trade occurs. See, through Red Sea, this dotted line comes to Mumbai. So what this trade is happening? Oil is coming from Saudi to here to Mumbai. Then from Mumbai trade is going to Tanzania in Africa. Then this trade is coming to Sri Lanka, Then this trade is going to Southeast Asia, then to China, to Japan, Philippines. Now this is going down to Australia. So you can see how important Indian Ocean is for trade in this area, in this majorly this area. So you can see the importance of Indian Ocean. Okay, this I should have told you earlier when I was telling you about the peninsula. So, but I told you about Kanyakumari, right? But India's southernmost point is somewhere else. It is in Andaman and Nicobar. It is called Indira Point. Okay, it is somewhere to the southernmost part of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, and during tsunami of 2004, it got submerged in water. Okay, now it is giving us one important point regarding trade, that before Suez Canal was made, Suez Canal is here, Red Sea. Okay, oh sorry, not here. I'm pardoning. Uh, Suez Canal is here. This is written. You can see. So between Egypt and Saudi, there was a landmass called Sinai Peninsula. So it was dredged, it was broken down to create a way for Suez Canal. Because earlier, I will show you with big map, world map. Earlier, trade from Europe used to come from this area. Now, after Suez Canal is made, so European trade can move from here to here. So now you understand the importance of Suez Canal. Okay, and it reduced the distance by 7,000 kilometer. This is a big number. Okay, you can see how canal are made. Suppose this is Europe and this is below is Asia. So this water body is connecting Europe and Asia, and this is a big water body, and here which is not shown is also a big water body connected by a canal. You can see the ships are moving. So this is the importance of Suez Canal. So that's all for today. I will meet you in the next class. I will teach you about how to calculate GMT and the time respective to GMT and everything about that, and more topics to come in your next chapter. So till then, thank you for watching and subscribe the channel, like the video if you liked, and if you have any query, you can ask in the comment section and I will be happy to clear your doubts. And if you want specifically to take any topic, you can tell about that also. Thank you.